Hey YouTube, Dawson Rider here with a review of the Double Battle Action Super Megaforce Rangers. So this is the typical sort of 6.5 inch line of figures we get around the beginning and throughout the line that are these sort of larger figures that have a bit of a gimmick to them. Typically I don't pick them up, but I thought, hey, what the heck, the suits are cool. Last year we got them and we got 4 because we got Robo Knight, and that was the only one I picked up, but we only have 3 this year. At the beginning we have green, red, and blue. No other ones to speak of. I decided to forego the packaging, because there really wasn't anything special to it. So anyway, let's go ahead and take a look at them. We'll start with red. These figures aren't really known for articulation because they mainly have their gimmick here, which we'll show in a minute. The only real thing they got going for them is their head articulation can move. Essentially 360, but you can't do it because of their collar, but you can move it side to side. The figures themselves don't look half bad. They're super glossy, if you can tell, like especially the black here. Their proportions are a little strange, a little muscly, the head's a little strange, but the paint jobs on it isn't bad. The red looks clear, the gold is nice. There's no real any blotchy areas. They've captured the suit pretty well, and even though it does look a little misproportioned, it's not a terrible looking figure, and I actually kind of dig them. They do have their weapons here, which aren't painted. Both of them have the gun and sword, which are just the traditional PR gray weapon. Red has the gun and sword, green has 2 guns, and blue has 2 swords, which correspond with their fighting styles from the footage. So for the gimmick here, there's this little thing on the back, which is supposed to move back and forth, which causes him to use them out here. Obviously, it's difficult to show. From this angle. I mean, not difficult to show, you can see the back, but from the front. It really reminds me of, I said this in my Robo Knight review, but it really reminds me of like Bionicles, like you get 2 kids and they're like hitting these together. But so I'm just going to hold it at the waist here because it's easier to show from the front. So see, he'll pull out his gun like that, and then his sword, you have to really put force in there, and when you pull his sword out, he'll yank the gun up so it's holstered, so it'll be like boom, slash, boom, slash, boom, slash, boom, slash. And see, he'll put the gun out, sword resting, sword out, and the gun should be resting. Boom, slash, boom, slash. So yeah, that's actually kind of neat. I think it's a really amusing gimmick. Here we've got green falling over, though that's pretty much his stick. And pretty much the same deal here. Weird proportions on him, but the paint doesn't look bad. Super glossy. I gotta dig him though, and he's kind of in a pose that's very much like his footage would be. Same deal here, you got the gimmick here. And for his, he shoots the guns out like that. See, look what's really neat. He will fire one out, the other one will be resting, fire one out, resting. And ideally, they usually fall back like this, but it's difficult to get him to do it. See, there we go. So he just kind of fires them off one by one. That's him. Alright, and then here we have Blue, who's got 2 swords. His, like, default pose is really strange. Like, he looks like he's about to slash, come down and slash somebody, which is kind of normal, but these guys look a little more normal, I guess. I suppose Red's looks a little strange on the back. But same deal here, just like the other ones, they can all move their head. I didn't show it on green, but he can move his head. The details are fine, a bit odd proportions, but I think they did a pretty decent job on the details on it. And then his gimmick, obviously, is going to be slashing. If you control from back here, he'll pull one out, bring the other one back. I feel like I'm doing an infomercial for something that you chop, because somehow like the regular way has become really hard to do, and they'll show it in gray footage. But yeah, that's pretty much all they do, and you can have them fight. Let's take red and let's have them fight. Let's see if we can do that. Let's have them fight. So that's cool. See, look, they fight. It's like Bionicles all over again. And that's really cool. Look, their swords went like that. It's pretty awesome. But then Marvelous is shooting him here, so he's toast. But so yeah, these figures are pretty neat. If you're like a collector that likes display pieces, these aren't really necessarily the best. They're going to be coming out with better 5-inch figures or the figure arts. They're just more neat figures to own if you really just want to get all the things from the suit or one particular suit. They're not terrible figures. I actually think they look pretty neat on the shelf, if not a little bit oddly proportioned. But I don't think they're too terrible looking. And I find the gimmick to actually be pretty neat. Like if I was a kid, or even now, I'm a big kid, I think it's kind of funny. It's just a really kind of unique gimmick. It's really simply put together, but it creates a really neat effect, and it's just overall a neat gimmick. So yeah, if you like really fun figures, then they're not bad, but otherwise they're a pretty easy pass. But anyway, this is a fairly quick review, not a whole lot to go over. Till next time, make sure you check out the Crazy Podcast at WritersRangersRambles.com. Until next time, it's Dawson Rider, signing out.